Hello and welcome to Grand Signature Blog. I'm Shanique Hughes, and today we're going to talk about outsourcing. One of the most important parts about being an entrepreneur or an investor is to learn how to outsource. One of the things or mistakes that I did early on is that I started doing the housekeeping of my own little bedroom or spare bedroom that I was renting. And then I realized that my job, not that I couldn't or that I'm above that job because I've done many jobs since I was very little. However, my job is to find more properties and to find more places to furnish, to decorate, to rehab. And so I had to take the time, and it took me about a week to really get to know companies, to interview them. And everybody in this town or any town, they're always gonna sell you anything. You're gonna ask them, hey, are you good at this? Are you good at that? And they'll go, yes, I am the best. I'm your man. And actually, that is not true, and you have to be very careful because housekeeping is one of the most important parts of short-term rentals. If everything looks good on paper, if everything looks good digitally on the app, and the pictures are amazing, the decoration is amazing, but however, when the guest checks in and the fridge is dirty on the inside, when the bed is not made properly, when the housekeeping team didn't even dust the furniture, then you're gonna have problems. And those are problems that you do not want to be taking care of because it's very simple, because it's part of outsourcing. Outsource to a company. I highly recommend that you don't use an individual because individuals, we know, they usually don't have a backup. And things happen always in this life, whether people get sick, people get into accidents, and then you're running a business and you expect them to get there 11 a.m. when people check out of your property so that they can get ready between 11 and 3 p.m. just like any hotel, same schedule. You expect your rooms, your houses, your whatever that you're renting to be up to the T. Like you expect them to be perfect by 3 p.m. And so it's a very tight window for them to get there. Sometimes they get there late, but however, they know that they have to have everything ready by 3 or before 3 p.m. A lot of people, like I have in the past, I expect to check in early. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. However, you try to aim to please. So definitely housekeeping team is very important. One of the things that I did early on is I put an ad on Craigslist to train people how to do housekeeping, how I expected them to do our properties, to clean them. And I started with 15 people, and every one of them said, I am the best at this job. I've done housekeeping in hotels, I've done housekeeping in the past for homes. And long story short, 3 months later, from 15 people, I only had one person standing. And not because I fired them, it is because things happen. People go out of town, people go to jail, and it actually happened. This girl ended up in jail and didn't show up. So I just opted out, even though they were independent contractors. I opted for hiring a professional company. I highly recommend, if you want to expand, if you want to grow in short-term rentals, to take the time to interview people and to take bids and kind of tell them, hey, you know what, this company, they're offering this much for a 1-bedroom or for a 2-bedroom. What can you offer me? And negotiate with them because it is very important for this business. Also, handymans are extremely important. I can tell you so many stories, but one of the best ones is I'm having dinner and I get this phone call. Hey, I'm your guest at this property. By the way, the bed broke. I said, what do you mean the bed broke? Well, yeah, it totally broke, so I had to leave everything that I was doing. I headed over to the property, and sure enough, this person, I don't know if he was jumping on it as a monkey, but he actually broke the bed. And whether it was my fault or the people that, or the moving company, or the company that built the bed, if they didn't screw the bed properly, I don't know. I had to reimburse my guest for the inconvenience. I ended up losing money, and I also had to hire a handyman, and hiring a handyman can be tough when you need them on the spot at 7 p.m. on a Friday night. And I can tell you that I put another ad on Craigslist, and that's one of the best ways that most entrepreneurs or investors will tell you how to do things. However, I really haven't had very good luck with doing that on Craigslist. I found that applications such as TaskRabbit, you can find a lot of handymans that are trustworthy, that have other reviews from other people, not necessarily investors, but just Sally the homeowner who needed some help with decorating her house for Christmas, etc. I have an amazing friend who is now going to be a partner, and I met him through TaskRabbit, and he can do anything. He can change the locks, he can put curtains up, and every time I have put a new property up for rent, he's been one of my key players for making this happen. Of course, I don't know much about how to change locks and how to put blinds and curtains, so I do have to rely on people that are very knowledgeable. And one of the things about being an investor or an entrepreneur is that you don't have to be a specialist on one area. We do have to know a little bit about everything. We have to know a little bit about accounting, housekeeping, handyman work, decorating, properties, but your job is to find more properties so that you can expand and have and collect that passive cash flow, which equals to freedom, financial freedom. And I believe that the most important part is learning to outsource. Outsource, I cannot say it enough. I wouldn't be able to accomplish everything that I do every day if I didn't ask for help or I didn't hire people to do certain tasks that otherwise I would be running around town, going to Costco. That's another thing that you can do with your handyman. You can pay them by the hour, $15, $20 an hour. Even sometimes in other states, you can do $10 an hour. And they will gladly go to Costco, buy the toiletries, buy the shampoo, conditioner, even soap or anything that the house needs. Ask them to always keep the receipts, put them in bank envelopes, and so at the end of the month you can have a clean record of all your expenses. Try to do it every single month, and if you can, of course, outsource to an accountant so that you can have a really good record, and a good bookkeeper is also part of having your team. Thanks for watching. I'm Shanique Hughes. If you like the channel, please subscribe. Also, you can follow us on all social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and also if you would like to write me if you have any questions, suggestions, I'd love to hear from you. You can write me at grandsignatureiinvestments@gmail.com. If you like the channel, please subscribe. For more information, you can always write us at grandsignatureiinvestments@gmail.com.